Hey, what's going on everyone? This is Fat Free. Spent a lot of time building my Abernathy Farm tower, and I wanted to show it off. So here it is. There's a day shot, night shot. It is 17 stories tall. I chose Abernathy Farm because it has the tallest build size. My goal is not just to make something massive like a lot of other videos I've seen, but something that looks realistic and functional and jam-packed with stuff on the inside. There you can see the name. Of course I misspelled it. I took a lot of inspiration from Jug. If you haven't checked out his videos, they're great. So I wanted to look modern, have like a more like modern chic aesthetic appeal to it. Here's my directory that I spent a lot of time on it. None of those letters snap to each other like a lot of the other things in the game. You actually have to line them up by eye, and you can see that some of them are not perfect.
You've got the grit for it. I can see it in your
Moving around to the back here, here's my cafeteria I built with the kitchen. I wanted the cafeteria to be on the first floor, kind of like a modern tower would have. I mostly stuck to using warehouse construction elements for like the walls and the roofs and the floors. I really like the glass look with a lot of it. It required a ton of glass and many, many hours of me just farming glass. So here's my kitchen. It's kind of a storage area. Back here I've got a little meat freezer, just some rat scorpion meat or rat scorpion eggs and rat sack meat, miscellaneous stuff. And here's the rest of the kitchen. I wanted it to be as lifelike as possible so that like if you were in a kitchen, these are the things that you would find. These vegetables did not like going in things. That's actually really painstaking and does not look great still. One of the things I love about Bethesda games is all the props are like little mini scenes, and I wanted to try to emulate some of that. So there was a Meyerlick Queen steak on the cutting board with a knife sitting next to it. Maybe that was the chef's special for the day. Yeah, so it's a lot of the warehouse stuff, glass stuff. Here's a little horticulture corner. I wanted it to be connected to the kitchen, but kind of outside the rest of the tower. So it's actually like a half floor lower than everything else. And I liked giving it like an extra second floor here to kind of give it a little bit of depth. Back here we have our little water purifying area. I actually finished this tower, not a ton to see in here. I finished this tower almost a year ago. I finally got around to making a video of it. And I also waited to make the tower until all of the DLC had come out, so I had the most amount of options for my construction types. And the warehouse was part of the Contraptions DLC, I believe. But you'll see elements from all the DLCs and all the different construction builds. So here's my second floor. This is a like a little shopping area. I call this place the Jip. It's my take on the Gap. I was trying to make it a little overly trendy. I used the warehouse garage doors. I thought they kind of looked like security gates at like a mall or something like that, so I kind of liked adding that element to it. So it's just like a little store, a general store. Placing all of these items was extremely painstaking and took a lot of time. Not just to find all the elements, but actually just placing them and putting them in a position where they actually look good. So one of the things I wanted to change about this tower, as opposed to previous settlements I've made, is making sure that there were bathrooms on every floor, like a real tower would. So I don't have any on the first floor, but the second floor I do, and then all the other floors after that. I believe there are bathrooms on all of them. Yeah, so here's another shot of the Jip. And this is my weapons and armor depot. Yeah, I wanted to make it as lifelike as possible. A bunch of stuff I placed on here. I like the gun mounts that they added in one of the DLCs. Those are just a couple mannequins over there with, I believe those are the Marine outfits, which is from the Far Harbor DLC. Here's my women's restroom on here. I apologize, we do not have a gender neutral bathroom. Yeah, so there's a better shot of the lobby. And we'll go up to our 3rd floor in a moment here. I wanted the lobby to be like 2 stories tall, just kind of give it like a lot of space. Actually, I think it's 3 stories tall. Just to kind of give you like a grand entrance feeling when you first walked in. 3rd floor is kind of like a VIP executive lounge area where, you know, like maybe the managers or the owners or CEOs of the tower, that they would work here. It's kind of like a little waiting area with a receptionist desk. And here's like a nice swanky office for one of the bigwigs to sit at. Nice little radio station, little liquor shelf over here. And the other one, I won't show you, but it's exactly the same. It's just a mirror image. Over here, there's a little cigarette lounge for the execs to smoke and look at all the peons from. All right, and we'll take you up to the 4th floor. This is the residential floor. Now, I switched to the concrete build here because I wanted the residential field to feel more like kind of closed off for each unit. You can see I've got unit numbers on there. I try to make each bedroom to be able to accommodate like 2 people. And you can see you'll see that in every unit here, I do include a bathroom as well. But they're basically all, I guess, studios, except for a couple of the nicer ones actually have different bedrooms. So yeah, I have them labeled 401 through like 410 or something like that. And I did the math, so I believe this floor houses 20 people, which is the amount of people that you can have in a settlement. So here's one of the nicer units. You can see the living area is 1.5 stories tall. Actually took a lot of planning to get it to work seamlessly with the rest of the tower like that. So there's like a bedroom over here, like a little crib for the kid, and you got a bathroom. These bathrooms are a little nicer. They get a really shitty bathtub. I use a lot of the vault furniture. I like it because it looks cleaner. It's one of the things that doesn't look really, really terrible and falling apart in the game. I will spare you the rest because they all pretty much look the same. So my 5th floor is the deck. This is kind of like a party bar area. There's a little mannequin there that I have dressed up to look like a bouncer. And so you go on the deck here, very happening hipster vibe. I spent a lot of time with lighting, trying to give each floor like a different mood to it. Got Nuka-Cola bottles all over the place and Vim bottles, whatever. Lots of lighting. Here's a couple little structure that I built on the top, like this little mezzanine floor. Kind of like it because it makes the front of the building looks like it has like wings or something. It might look stupid, but I thought it was fun, and it actually took an excruciatingly long time to build because none of the pieces wanted to go together. I kind of had to force them together. So there's my outside switch that controls this whole floor, all the power that goes to it. Yeah, so it's like a little bartender work area there. So under there, you can see there's the nicer residential units. There's a person who's standing on top. I like to use the spotlights. I thought it kind of added a cool effect, kind of lights up the building. And there's a good view of the building, good angle. This building is 17 stories, by the way, so I believe we're on the 5th floor now, so still a ways to go. A little gaming area. Again, bathrooms on each floor. They don't have doors that would work well for the bathrooms, so each stall is kind of just out in the open, kind of like Wrigley Field. Cool pool area. I like to use the colored lights. These areas. And women's restroom. The women get chairs in their restroom. It's the big difference. But yeah, I use a lot of the vault furniture just because it looks nicer and cleaner. Like those toilets and those sinks are the nice looking ones. They don't look like they're cracked and breaking up. That's all part, and even like those chairs and stuff, that's all part of the vault. It's like the only build set that wasn't like completely falling apart and looked disgusting. All right, this is kind of just like a corporate floor. I called it Visio Corp. I kind of just made it up. It sounded Latin and pompous. All right. So I got just like a few like cubicles or little mini offices here for a bunch of different working people. Some of them are nicer than others. I like to add just little things to the desk, you know, like typewriters and lamps and pencils and stuff like that. The technical documents that you collect throughout the game for the Brotherhood of Steel actually look really nice sitting on the desks, which are quest units, so if you just don't turn them in and put them on desks, it looks nice. And bathrooms here, but just smaller single units. And we'll go to the 7th floor. 7th floor took me a long time. This is, what did I call it? Tronics Inc. So this is supposed to be like a robotics company. Try to make like a little storyline to each floor of like, give it a little uniqueness. So this is kind of like their office area. Got little, it's very similar to the floor below, but this is like the lab. This is pretty cool. This took me a while to set up. Those are mannequins from the Nuka World DLC that they actually move. I thought that was fun and worked well with the theme on this level. So it's kind of like a lab workstation area here. Collected a lot of different materials to kind of go about the room. I like those boxes from the, I believe that's from the Vault-Tec DLC as well. Power relay coils, a whole bunch of other random stuff that I never really used for anything else. Was able to kind of litter around the room, make it look like it was in the middle of being worked on. All right, now we're going up to the Glen Meyer. This is where the rich people live. So this is the Glen Meyer estate. You walk in, nice and fancy. And yeah, here we go. So this one I made a story and a half tall for the living areas as well, and then the master bedroom. The furniture in here I use like the vintage stuff. All the floors are powered, by the way. I spent an entire day of work building scaffolding on the exterior of the building so I could run all my wires and conduits without visually obstructing anything on the inside. On the ground floor, I actually ran power through the concrete foundation. I'm not sure if that's a glitch or intentional, but it was very helpful to hide wires. Yeah, you can see there's a bathroom there in the living room, and then here's the master bedroom, and some wall art, and just kind of a nice little area crib there as well. And then they have a master bath. They get their own little liquor cabinet in their bedroom too. Nice wine bottle by the crappy tub. They get their own bathroom, but like some master bathrooms, how they open up to the rest of the hallway as well. I kind of like that. Kind of made it feel more realistic. And so they actually have a second floor here. Kind of like a split level a little bit. And here's like a small kitchen area for them. I wish they had nicer looking stoves. And again, I'm sticking kind of with like the more vintage looking stuff here, like their old money or something like that. And there's a couple kids' bedrooms here. A bedroom for a boy and a girl. I decided that these people are a very traditional families. So we've got a boy's room with balls and trucks, and the girl's room has got stuffed animals and pictures of puppies and kittens. And they have a large patio area as well. The railings are from the concrete build, which do not work easily with the warehouse build. You can see the electric wires from the towers running to the sides here. I actually purposely built kind of a blank space in this part of the building so that those wires wouldn't run through the middle of the building. I didn't want anything to like interfere with it and kind of ruin the aesthetic of it. You can see a nice little patio area over there. It goes back to the kitchen. They're very patriotic. All right. Yeah, that's probably it for this floor. Elevators are very, very handy in this tower. It took me a while to figure out how to kind of orchestrate all of them. I do end up kind of having a dud floor here because the Glen Meyer estate is so big. So it's the 9th floor. I like the neon lights, using them in the different floors to kind of designate where you are. This is kind of just a transfer floor. Again, the Glen Meyer ended up using so many floors, we end up kind of just having to waste a few floors here. This floor is just a cigarette lounge. Again, I wanted the building to be thinner here, down the middle. I do use the supports on the outside, so that kind of gives it the feeling, you know, that the building is still, like, the weight of the building is still being supported. Oh, this is the 13th floor, and like all buildings should, you do not actually put the floor number on the 13th floor. Here's Jim's gym. A bunch of workout gear, a bunch of loose weights and stuff like that that you could normally break down into like lead. And over here is like our utility handyman workstation area. I imagine he's a guy who goes around and fixes everything for the building. So a lot of work with all of the like the props, all the stuff, the items laying around on the floor. And then here's kind of like his storage area. A lot of things that you see in the rest of the building. I thought, oh, it'd be nice like if there are like extra ones here, and then also like cleaning supplies and stuff like that. So here's my electrical. It took a lot of power to power this building. One thing you'll notice, this is an absolutely massive building with tons of stuff in it. The only way I was able to do that was with the unlimited building glitch, which is where you drop a bunch of weapons on the ground and then you store them into your workbench, which confuses the game and it frees up extra build space in your settlement. I wanted to have kind of like this very ominous large switch. That switch actually powers all the power in the building, so if I turn that off, like literally the entire building loses power. This is on an Xbox One, and so I definitely do get frame rate issues because I took advantage of that glitch. Yeah, you can see all the lights are off. If I switch it back on, everything will pop back on here. Over here, I wanted it to be like a large storage area, just like desks and TVs and stuff that would be used. There's a person glitched out over there. So Abernathy Farm has some glitch where the settlers will not assign to like a job or to a post. That's kind of the one disappointing thing about this tower, is that I was not able to assign anyone anywhere. I kind of just gave up. So it's the 14th floor. We've gone up to 15. All right. Here's my Safeway clinic. It's just a like a doctor's office. A few different patient rooms in here. So I had to become really proficient with farming glass, because the whole building, there's tons of glass stuff, especially with all the walls and the windows. I kind of ended up creating like a ring of places that I would go to farm the glass from. And every like 2 weeks in game, the glass, those objects would end up respawning, and I'd go and re-farm them to keep on getting new materials. Oh, there's the person on the floor below. So kind of just like a overnight area here. And then I wanted to create like a little story in this next room. So if you turn it, yeah, here we go. There's like a skeleton here and like bones all over the place with a bone cutter. And then in the corner, there's a shovel. I thought, you know, kind of use your imagination to what happened in this room. Maybe there's something ominous going on in the Safeway clinic. And out here, I've got the Westinghouse Gallery. I couldn't think of a good name, and I thought that sounded cool, although later on I found out that's just like a current power company that makes like nuclear reactors and stuff. But yeah, I thought with all the art in the game, it would be cool to have like a art gallery in here. You can see how the concrete structure is actually just a little shorter than the glass walls, which are from the warehouse build. But I thought it looked it looked good to have kind of like these like little half walls in here that could be used as like little viewing platforms for all the art, and look like you might see in an actual gallery. Up next is Connie Allen. Here's Rocket 69. And finally, we are just about to the top here, floor 16. This is the penthouse area. So this is where you can see the signage there. It says the Abernathy Penthouse. So I imagine this is where me and all my buddies and maybe a few lady friends hang out. Yeah. I'm a huge Cubs fan, and so the Cubs just won this last year. I have a little baseball shrine there. Yeah, so this is our living area. All like the Vault Tech furniture. Again, it's much cleaner and nicer. Not falling apart and ragged. Oh, there's a little... You can figure out what's going on there. It's my bed, and oh, at my bathroom, I thought, oh, it'd be nice if I have, when I'm taking a crap, you know, no one else is here and I can just look out and if you see me, deal with it. Up here is my throne room, which I will show you in a minute. Alright, this is my armor and weapons locker. Laser tripwire there, more of the garage doors that kind of reveal everything. Some light glitches there. I use the spotlights again in this room to kind of illuminate everything. Again, they don't turn on until I trip the wire. Those light panels took a long time to wire. That's actually would be a whole other video just showing how I did that and ran out of power. The light panels are on a delay, so they actually don't turn on for a second or two after the doors open. There's a little weapons workbench. And the tripwire can turn off just by reactivating it again. Yeah, that room took quite a while. A lot of fun to build, though. So this is my throne room. As you can see, there's a throne. I like to kind of give it like this, you're almost approaching like Darth Vader or someone like very mysterious and ominous and foreboding walking up here. You have to walk up the steps to him. Got my little hunted trophies on the wall. And I thought the mannequins just kind of looked creepy and, again, very ominous. I like the lights on the floor. Some weapons display cases just to intimidate people. The mannequins are wearing a lot of the unique outfits in the game to kind of show them off. You'll notice on the stairs I had to use floor mats in between each step, because otherwise the steps are too high and your player will actually get stuck on them. That was a trick I learned from one of the videos from Jug. And there's kind of like a little lookout point where I can kind of observe my kingdom from up here, from the throne room. Like using the angle glass in this room, kind of just give it another feel. So yeah, there it is. It's the throne room. Took quite a while to design and get just right the way I wanted. And up here is kind of just like a top little patio area. Kind of thought of like another private party deck. So yeah, that is my Abernathy Tower. I'm embarrassed to say how many hours it took, but my wife was not happy with me, although she did think it was pretty cool when it was done. So that is every floor of my tower. No mods were used and no cheats were used besides the weapons glitch. This is on the Xbox One and it's really just the vanilla build of the game. I did use all the DLC builds. I watched a lot of videos to kind of get hints and inspiration. Like I had mentioned at the beginning of the video, Jug was especially helpful. Alright, well that's my Abernathy Tower, and next time I will show you what's actually behind Abernathy Tower is my Galaxy Muse Garden. It's a huge basketball court, and I'll make that video later. Alright guys, thanks for watching.